Hey Internet, Harris here. The iPad's been able to connect to secondary displays and monitors for several years now, and in some ways the technology has gotten better as they've added USB-C and you can add flash drives and use the Files app and all this kind of stuff. But the experience using a secondary display was always something just to show off for the sake of showing off. It was never something that at least I would ever consider using. It just wasn't that practical. But with iPadOS 16, paired with some great accessories, I think that could be changing. In this video, I want to show exactly how powerful, how capable, and how far iPadOS has come with using secondary displays. Let's go ahead and check out exactly what you can expect with this year's software update and a couple great accessories. So the two accessories I want to talk about in this video come from Anker, and they are the sponsor of this episode, and these accessories are really great. So the first accessory I want to show off is a bit more of a desktop accessory. If you're going to use your iPad consistently in one place, and maybe you want to add your own favorite Bluetooth keyboard and mouse or trackpad, whether you want to do a mechanical keyboard or a keyboard with a number pad or whatever keyboard you want to use with your iPad, this is the accessory for that. And this is the Anker 551 USB-C hub. It's an 8-in-1 hub plus a tablet stand. So it comes with everything that you would want from it, which includes USB-C power delivery with up to 60 watts power delivery and 5 gigabits per second speed, as well as a second USB-C hub for connecting it to your iPad. So you can charge it or connect any other USB-C accessory you want. You also have HDMI for up to 4K 60, which is of course the centerpiece of this setup. You need HDMI to connect to your monitor, so that's great. That's also on the back of the stand so that you can keep it clutter-free. Now it also features 2x USB-A, which is great for obviously connecting your legacy devices, or maybe to connect a mouse or a keyboard or a printer, or just about any other standard USB-A accessory. You have 2 of those on this device. You also get not only an SD card, but a micro SD card reader, so fantastic for creators out there, for photographers, videographers. You can connect directly to your device, either with that USB-C cable we mentioned before, or with this SD card or micro SD card, and it can read both of those at the same time, which is awesome. You can take that directly into the Photos app, the Files app, Lightroom, or iMovie, or any other app that you work with. And finally, of course, this brings back the headphone jack, so you can monitor your audio and edit and do whatever you need using wired headphones with this stand. And once you power this up, you can see the power of iPadOS 16. Once you launch Stage Manager, you just open up worlds of possibility. That monitor becomes a second display for your iPad, not just a mirror display of your iPad, and it brings its own dock, and you can open up to 4 applications at once, and you can also switch between different desktops and workstations. So you can have one with Finder for some files, Safari for browsing the web, Pages for your documents, and maybe Maps for some navigation research. And then you can switch over to just the entertainment workstation, where you have Messages, Twitter, YouTube, and the MLB app or ESPN app on the side, and you can switch between those. Now, of course, these apps do have to be updated to support this and allow you to resize your applications. Most of the ones I tried did support this. There were definitely a couple that didn't, but this really gives you a great taste of what you can do, and you can just truly have 2 workstations side by side, or top and bottom, or however you want to arrange it, with this Stage Manager and iPadOS 16 with this dock. Now the second way of doing this setup is what I imagine as a little bit more portable, because you can take the accessory with you wherever you go, connect to any display anywhere you are, and it also works with your existing keyboard case for your iPad. So I think this is a perfect accessory for your Magic Keyboard, and maybe you throw on a mouse on the side, but you don't have to. So this is the Anker 541 USB-C hub, and this is a 6-in-1 hub. So it features, again, USB-C, so you can power your device or connect a USB-C accessory. But also has your USB-A ports, your HDMI, and your SD cards and micro SD card slot, as well as your headphone jack. And this has an iPad matching aluminum, so you plug it right in and you instantly get this really compact, powerful, and versatile hub connected to your iPad. It's not going to manage the cables as well because there's nothing to really tuck the cables behind. But for a kind of on-the-go setup, you can just throw everything in, still get your awesome secondary display support for 4K 60, which is awesome. And then when you go somewhere else, you can keep this with you in your bag, and you can still connect your SD cards, your micro SD cards, your USB-A adapters, flash drives, whatever. And if you use this in conjunction with, say, a smart keyboard, you of course have that smart keyboard's extra USB port, so you could be charging your iPad with that. Keep the USB-C port on the hub free, so you can connect a USB-C SSD or really any other accessory you want. So both of these accessories combined give you a lot of freedom to connect different peripheries, different accessories, and it works pretty well for a beta. Again, hopefully this will be working better by the full release, but that's just a taste of what you can do. It's still not perfect, and as MKBHD said, this is a very iPad-ified, made for iPad piece of software. It is not the same as it is on the Mac, and it has a learning curve for sure. It's a little bit confusing at first, and I'm still trying to learn it exactly. But once you get the hang of it, it is pretty cool, and it definitely adds a lot of improvement over what multitasking was with iPadOS 15 and earlier, especially with a secondary display where you couldn't have floating windows, you couldn't have windows overlapping except for the slide over. So this is really great. So now that this feature is available, my question for you is this something you're going to use? Are you going to start using an iPad with a secondary display? I think this will be much more functional for students and much more practical now. All of a sudden, if you have a simple monitor in your dorm room, something just kind of pushed against the wall, the edge of your desk, and then you combine it with your iPad, which you use for taking notes throughout the day and more portable needs, stuff like that, and you come back and you plug it in and you can work on 2 displays. You can have lots of applications open at once, research and writing, or watching and writing, or reading and thinking, or typing and researching, whatever you need to do, you can do that much more efficiently. Just have many windows pulled up at once.